this game should honestly be called Love and Depression. Raphael's myth is hauntingly beautiful, but also terrifyingly tragic. It's a story not just of love, but sacrifice, memory, and destiny. I'm Princess Farron, and today I ask that you grab your tissues because we dive deep into the abyss of his latest myth, where cities drown and hearts break quietly, completely. And if you're new to Raphael or Love and Deepspace, this myth explores a god's burden, a lover's sacrifice, and a city on the brink. Don't worry, I'll guide you through every tear-soaked turn. We begin in Romirro, the last city of mankind, isolated on an island and surrounded by the Black Sea. But it won't be safe for long, as a prophecy in the Tome of the Sea God warns that there shall be a lunar eclipse, and at the end of the third night, Romirro will be annihilated, as it sinks below the ocean waves, devoured by the Black Sea. The previous castellan of Romirro believed in the sea god, and in his bride, our MC, chosen to inherit the title and to protect Romirro in the sea god's stead. The people believed that as the sea god's bride, she would be able to change the prophecy. However, that only lasted until a new prophecy anticipated the end of Romirro. It foretold that humanity would actually be submerged during the first night of the eclipse. As the tides rose, humanity lost their faith in the sea god and abandoned him. As the bride of the sea god, our MC had the same fate. Then comes the new castellan, Hawkern. Cunning and resourceful, he manipulates everyone against the sea god and his bride. He makes up a story that the tomb produced a new prophecy that will soon be announced by the bride of the sea god. It turns out she was only kept alive because she's the only human who can talk to the Tome of the Sea God. And here I'd like to remind you of what happened in the story branch update, Land of Secret Flames. It is with a drop of the MC's blood that the Tome awakens. And it grants the both of them, the MC and Raphael, a blessing. But they will also have to pay a price. Under Hawkern's rule, MC is a prisoner who's only made to appear in public when it's convenient, due to her known connection to the sea god and the tome. Suddenly, MC starts listening to the sea god's voice inside her heart. He plans a way to help her escape. So, following the sea god's instructions, the MC asks for the Summoneo staff and sings the Sea Ritualis hymn. A storm starts raging and the waters churn. Without hesitating, the MC follows a golden light that appears and jumps into the ocean. It's at the bottom of the ocean that the MC finds the sea god, chained. And as he saved the MC in Romirro, the sea god asks the MC to release him. After searching him, she finds the seal, a dagger, and breaks him free from the chains and the magical seals. And if you pay attention, the MC doesn't waste much time until she actually senses where the seal was hidden. The sea god captures Hawkern. As despair takes over Hawkern, he actually threatens the MC with the curse he placed upon her. Raphael recognizes the curse as an ancient one and removes it. However, he also realizes that that specific curse cannot be cast by humans. Hawkern doesn't reveal anything about it, but instead accuses the sea god of destroying Lemuria, Whalefall City, and now Romirro. Tired of his nonsense, Raphael, the sea god, throws him into a water prison. After the storm intensifies, they find the Dome of the Sea God back in its place in the temple. The The sea god cuts his and MC's palms and allows their mingled blood droplets to fall onto the tome, which causes it to reveal another prophecy. Lemurians who seek absolute power combat the treacherous tides, dive into the deep for pearls, and find a true love. It's here that the sea god decides to reveal his name by tracing it on her palm, Raphael. Realizing that she must fall in love with Raphael in order to save Romirro, MC starts spending most of her time in the sea god's chambers, where he built a pool. The issue is rarely there. Eventually, of course, MC finds Raphael, and he gives her a scale that transforms into a seashell that is placed in a silvery white chain around her neck. It will allow Raphael to know where she is and what she's doing. Do you remember when Raphael sent people to spy on the MC? Here he's being upfront about it, right? She asks him if he doesn't want to fall in love with her and recover his powers. And then there's this line that really made me laugh.
Is clinging to me like an octopus part of your plan to fall in love with me?
Raphael also gives MC the staff that used to belong to her, as her name is actually engraved on it. And as we know, this detail turns out to be irrelevant. MC tries to find out more about him, including his flaws, and Raphael's answer once again echoes his deep-seated fear that MC will abandon him or not accept him if she finds out who he truly is, which basically is the main theme of the memory Omnipotent Perception.
Will you still like me, no matter who I become?
Raphael evades the MC's question, but promises she'll find out what kind of god he is at the next full moon. Following the glow emanating from the seashell necklace, MC finds herself in Mount Onuna, where Raphael is using his powers to reconstruct an ancient temple of the sea gods.
His blood surged to form the oceans. His scales transformed into the stars above. His bones became the whales who bore the sun disk, the moon clams that measure time, the coral bridges that lead to the netherworld.
He explains that the previous sea gods are the same as him, because one day he too will become just another forgotten sea god whose name will also be forgotten. This is a serious conversation, and it's the MC who tries to lighten up the mood, asking what he, Raphael, wants to do. He wants to find the person who sealed him away at the bottom of the sea, though he doesn't remember who it was. The culprit cast a mighty potent spell, right? The sea god declares they don't deserve his rancor, but he will still punish them. Oh, my bleeding heart, poor fishy. He's got no idea. No idea at all. A truly magical scene takes place soon after, when Raphael captures the moonlight with his own hands. In this myth, we truly see an almost all-powerful sea god that controls the lightning and storms, the sea, and apparently even the moon, which echoes the fable of Lemuria's creation that we saw just a while ago. It's also at this point that we meet Raphael's mount, the Fantasia shark, which I believe may be the creature Raphael summoned in the Abyss Walker, the Sea of Golden Sand myth. Do you also think it could be the same creature? Anyway, another curious detail about it. He mentions that despite the Fantasia shark being a skeleton, the first thing it did was try to eat Raphael. So I think that's where the battle line my shark is hungry. I think it's where it comes from. MC ends up resonating with the Fantasia shark so that both the creature and Raphael can view the images of the old Whalefall City.
Thank you.
They finally reach their destination. It's the sea god's tomb, where they are supposed to pass the 33 statues of previous sea gods and reach the altar to get the tempered tidebreaker trident. They successfully accomplish the mission, and the altar bestows Raphael with power as well as his memories. Memories that the MC also recovers, allowing her to remember the vows she had declared as the bride of the sea god, offering Raphael her heart. As they make their way out, Raphael realizes that MC is wounded. Her wound is red with a flower pattern. I wonder if it represents a flame lily, Raphael's flower. As soon as they get to shore, Raphael tries to heal MC, but he just can't. The MC still feels intense pain and asks Raphael to sing, so he can enchant her with illusion and ease her pain. Here we have a clear allusion to the mythological power of the sirens, and actually it relates a little bit to Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which is Raphael's star sign, both associated with illusions and getting lost in them, which is precisely what the MC is asking of Raphael. And even when they return to Romirro, Raphael keeps playing the flute every time the MC's pain intensifies. While they were away, Hawkern escaped from the water prison, which was what Raphael was expecting. He wanted Hawkern to reveal his true goal. It's also here that we learn that when Raphael is praised, scales rise on his neck. And if you listen to the Secret Times Tidefall of Viewer, you'll see the same thing happens during special moments, as he says. Besides, in the Bond, Ebb and Flow, we can see that it sort of had happened before too. As time passes, MC's wound brings with it some side effects. She'll become a being more akin to a Lemurian than a human. One with her senses heightened, she'll only hear sounds and see colors of the ocean, and her legs will eventually become too weak to walk on land. She will eventually drown on dry land. As the MC slowly recovers, the people of Romirro start preparing for the Sea Gratis festival, in order to express their reverence to the sea god once again. As MC watches the preparations from afar, she attempts to play the melody Raphael uses to soothe her pain with a conch, but fails. It is another cute moment between the two of them, and here I'd like to mention the first clear allusion we have to Raphael as Triton, as one son of Poseidon, who is known for using a conch shell as a way to calm or raise the waves, which is something I will talk about when I reach Raphael in my Greek mythology of Love and Deepspace series. I've already talked about Silas, so if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. Here we also have what, in my opinion, is a very important conversation between, because it revolves around the theme of freedom, which is one of the notions associated with Raphael, because he's bound by the sea god's tome of prophecies, by the expectations of his people and the humans, as well as by his own covenant with MC. That's why we have been seeing him restrained since Love and Deepspace was released. There's that confinement outdoor ad in which he's shown tied up by a red rope of sorts. He's tied up by the MC in the 2024 Valentine's banner, and he talks several times with the MC about being captured. I'm not going to mention the tomorrow's Catch-22 event because all of the boys were restrained, but even in Raphael's Abyss Walker companion, he uses chains to attack. And the first time we see him in this myth, he is chained. Raphael has been restrained in many ways throughout what we now know to be tens of thousands of years. And even though he hasn't quite escaped that prison, he feels bound by prophecy, by history, by the expectation to kill the one he loves. And that's why he paints why he sings opera. Art is freedom, escape. And that's what he wants for the MC, for her to follow her own heart and be free. MC accepts the people's request to preside over the Sea Gratis Festival. And soon after, we have another lovely bonding moment between MC and Rafayel. And her words are sure to help heal his heart of not being someone worthy of being loved.
Your eyes are bright, your hair is soft, and you remind me of a proud little crab when you smile. When you're angry, you're like a prickly sea urchin. Of course, if you lived at the bottom of the sea for thousands or tens of thousands of years, you would know how precious it is to see even a sliver of vibrant color.
Afterwards, Rafayel and MC return to the temple and celebrate the festival in a more intimate way, allowing the truth in their hearts to flow and take hold of their eager bodies. When MC wakes up, she finds a message. When the sun rises, come to the beach. I'll take you somewhere special. Not surprisingly, that message was not from Rafayel. It was a trap set up by Hawkern, who attacked MC with sharp claws, like tentacles, like those of a monster, those of a wanderer, like an Alturan who can switch form. Hawkern throws a bottle that releases a mysterious vapor that allows MC to witness what happened in Lemuria before Rafayel fell asleep and lost his memories. We finally have the missing pieces of the puzzle that was the ending of the God of Tide's forgotten sea myth. Being controlled by the Tome of the Sea God's prophecy, Rafayel tried to kill MC. We learned that, just as Xavier's Philos, Lemuria needs the hearts of the followers in order to survive. We saw how Rafayel managed to control his urges to remove MC's heart, and instead asked her to find the wick of the flame in the place where the oceans converged. And we unfortunately discovered that the MC couldn't find that wick because it didn't exist, as Lemuria was not meant to exist either. As Lemurians started to accuse her and Rafayel of failing Lemuria, she did the ultimate sacrifice. She used the Summoneo staff to imprison Rafayel in the bottom of the sea until the world was ready for Lemuria's rebirth. Then she would give him her heart. When the vapors of the bottle fade away, MC sees Rafayel lurking in the shadows. The sea god had watched what happened in the past. Rafayel witnessed how the MC was the one who imprisoned him for tens of thousands of years. With a silent agreement, the two of them trick Hawkern and Rafayel kills him. He heals the wounds the shackles left on MC's skin and leaves in search of the pearls in the deep the prophecy mentioned. MC believes Rafayel will never be able to forgive her and that she will never see him again. On the last day of summer, the storm falls on Romirro. The water rises and engulfs buildings, shops, and shelters. The people of Romirro can escape the churning black waters. MC leads Romirro's survivors to the Sea God's temple, the one she helped design when she was 15, never knowing it would be humanity's final shelter. After days, just when the storm finally subsides and the people of Romirro are about to leave the temple, a massive wave surges and moves in the city's direction. All hope seems gone when lightning courses through the sky and the MC's necklace vibrates. Rafayel is outside, fighting the towering waves. As MC gets closer and resonates with him, their power magnified. But besides that, MC can access Rafayel's feelings and realizes her love for him is requited. Together, they make the tides retrieve and save Romirro. Everything seems to be returning back to normal, but a bad omen soon happens in the form of a dead fish, a calamitous Pisces, washing ashore. apart from that, the prophecy on the tomb of the sea god hasn't changed either. And the shell Raphael gave MC shows a deep crack on it. Worried, MC goes to find Raphael. She finds him passed out inside his pool in the temple. He doesn't wake up, not even when she tries to resonate with him. Summoning the Fantasia shark, MC takes the unconscious Raphael to the sea god's tomb. There, the statues of the previous sea god inform her that Raphael has expended his divine power and is about to fade. The only way to save him is through a heart filled with pure, unconditional love. As they transfer part of MC's power to Raphael and he awakens, it is proved that her heart will be able to save him. However, that will be her decision, because if MC decides to do so, she will fade into sea foam. My heart, all the times Raphael teased MC saying he wouldn't turn into sea foam. Do you remember? He was always jesting about that. You know, there's a possibility that may happen to MC. Still your hearts, my dears, because the situation gets worse. As time goes by, Raphael once again shows signs of degradation. His fishtail turns white-grayish and his legs grow weaker. And the seashell pendant? It cracks further, a metaphor for his life force seeping away. Raphael muses about the present tragedy. He knows the sea god must kill his bride to ascend to godhood. He must destroy their bond. But as he once refused his fate, he also doesn't want to accept this one. He realizes they must bid each other goodbye. He sends MC a message through the sea breeze informing her that he will have to leave Romirro. MC barely manages to catch him before he leaves. Logically, he doesn't specify how long he will be gone, but he assures her that even after he's gone, the MC and Romirro will survive. As he allows MC to go see him off at sea, she finally makes up her mind. She will fulfill the promise she once made. The next scenes of the myth? I can barely talk about him. She plays his tune on a conch to call him. He gets closer and plays it again, saying it's the last time he'll teach her.
Listen carefully. This is the last time I'll teach you.
He says, the sea inevitably returns to where it belongs and separates from the land. MC retorts, but the sea always meets the shore. We could see each other again. I swear, this is so painful. It's very hard. I don't know if you felt the same, but this part, it just kills me. So they kiss and hug underwater, as if in those brief moments they could express all the feelings they had nurtured for each other throughout tens of thousands of years, as if an instant could stop time and prevent the prophecy from taking place. As if they still had all the time in the world to enjoy each other's company. As if the resonance of their hearts could still play an eternal melody that would rewrite the fate of the world. But they both know that would be impossible. That's when the MC makes use of their covenant and prevents Raphael from stopping her as she pierces his heart with the dagger of their covenant. Reclaim this heart and end our everlasting bond. Raphael claims he doesn't need her heart, that he won't allow it. Still encircled by the arms of her one true love, the MC simply vanishes, turning into a golden sea foam. Unable to stop fate, a tear runs down Raphael's face, turning into a pearl that drowns in the sea. It carries echoes of their love, pain, and sacrifice. Afterwards, we realize that the MC's sacrifice for Raphael was what brought forth the prophecy, as the tides surged and engulfed the world. Just like in Raphael's painting, the black seawater turns into crimson and takes the darkness with it until the azure resurfaces again. Lemurian memories awaken in people's blood as they step onto a familiar homeland. Whalefall City has been reborn. And Raphael, he contemplates the ring MC had given him, like her embrace has never let him go. So why does any of this matter? Because Raphael's civilization, like Xavier's, requires her heart in order to survive. Every time the MC appears, a civilization is on the brink of collapse. And that isn't a coincidence. Her presence may not save these worlds. It might mean they were always meant to disappear, and that's the reason why she was attracted and meant to be part of them, which ties up with what we learned on the story update, Death and Rebirth. And perhaps that was the exact reason why MC met Raphael for the first time, because she was drawn to a dying civilization, or even better, to an anomaly that shouldn't exist. Both Lemuria and Philos need her heart to survive, not her power, not her loyalty, her literal heart, the symbol of her will and unconditional love. Silas and Caleb's stories, if you pay attention, their stories don't require her heart, but bodily transformation, a soul resonance, a merging of selves. That's a different kind of intimacy, a different fate. So, what happens if a sixth love interest appears? Maybe he won't be like Raphael, Xavier, Caleb, or Silas. Maybe he will be someone like Zane, the administrator of the Fractal Library, someone who oversees or controls how fate unfolds, the witness to every written ending. Someone like Astra? Just teasing a little bit? Or am I? Also, since Lemuria was fated to disappear, could Zane have inscribed that fate in one of the books of the Fractal Library? And if so, is the MC truly in control of her own story? Or is she just another character waiting to be erased? Now that we've wrapped up the story, I'd like to know, did the ending break you like it broke me? I was literally, even just going through this again in the video, I was trying very hard not to cry. So tell me, how did it affect you? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this recap and analysis, drop a like. If you like content like this, consider subscribing as well. And as I said, I'm working on a Greek mythology series for the love interests of Love and Deepspace. The video about Silas is already out. If you watch the video to the end, you'll see who is the next one. So if you're interested in that, just pay attention. I will be releasing them. This is Princess Farron signing out. Take care and good gaming. Bye bye.